Dinosaurs are sick.
Oh.
Billy.
God damn.
Come on, Billy.
Keep that in.
We did the show weird this time.
Yeah. That's what it was.
All right. On today's Pardon My Take, Week 18. We finish off the regular season. The playoff picture is set. We're going to recap every game. Some of them maybe will go a little quicker because they don't have any implications on anything. We'll do fastest 2 minutes. We have Football Guy of the Week. We have Who's Back of the Week. We have a great show for you on a Monday after the finale of the regular season in the NFL. So sad. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Monday, January 10th, week 18. Whap, whap. We start in Duval, where the stands were filled with clowns, but the biggest bozo of the day was Frank Wright. Arson Wentz lit the Colts' season on fire and hung around long enough to watch the franchise burn. Jennifer Lawrence is starting to look like an A-lister, but don't look up, Jags. No, seriously, you literally can't look up. You clinched the number one pick. As per Adam Schefter, Jacksonville is officially on the clock. Please credit Schefter, he had it first. The Jags stun the Colts, keep them out of the playoffs, 26-11.
Whap, whap. In Baltimore, you can throw out the record books when these two teams face off. Benjamin Button Roethlisberger looks like he's aging in reverse as he linked up with Chase Deadpool to revive their careers. Chris, the Wizard of Boswell, followed the yellow kick road to a Steelers playoff berth and a potential Super Bowl run. B.J. Watt continues to be the king of the D as he swallowed up another sack, tying Brett Favre's record. And the Steelers are going to the Yoffs? Yoffs? Steelers 16, Ravens 13.
In Detroit, where Jared Goff told lazy boy Aaron Rodgers to take a seat, take a billion seats. Famine Ross St. Brown continued to play like a hungry dog as Instagrammin' Ross St. Brown added more memorable moments to his grid. John F. Kennedy took the top off the defense and delivered a magic bullet for a touchdown.
Too soon, Boom.
Don't let the Lions get hot as they finish the season with a big win. They just ran out of time. The Lions 37, the limping into the playoffs Packers 30.
In Los Angeles, where Tim Debo Samuel threw up a prayer for a touchdown to get the Niners back in the playoffs. Juwan Greg Jennings put the whole team on his back, adding 2 scores. Tyler Eleanor Higbee, he just scored twice in a game against Kyle Shanahan. Choke job by the Rams. Then there was Jim G. He really sucked in the first, but then he's still magically healed. Are the Niners for real? Niners 27, the Rams 24.
Down to the desert where Rashad, my cousin Penny, painted the Mona Lisa of Vito with 109 yards rushing and a touchdown. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. 2 touchdowns bring me round to find I'm not the man that they think I at all. Oh, no. I'm Tyler Lockett, man. Burning up his fuse up here alone. And much like the Challenger, the Cardinals crash and burn their way into the playoffs, 38-30.
In Tampa Bay, where Mike Evans-Bacon got 6 degrees of separation for 2 touchdowns, Sam Hey Darnold continues to dress up like Stinky Peterson when playing on Sundays as the Bucs locked up Chuba Indian and the Hubbard, making sure he never came to life. Kashawn Veronica Vaughn is so hot, want to touch the hiney. What a fine piece of ace. As the Bucs roll into the playoffs with the 2 seed. Bucs 41, the Panthers 17.
In the 3:05, Jalen Bottle Service started the party off the only way Miami knows how to, dancing in the end zone. Meanwhile, Tic Mac Toe put his ex in the wrong spot when Jones threw a pick 6 in the first quarter. 3 different running backs for the Patriots? That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. Well, it did. Brandon scored twice. And at least someone named Duke won this weekend as Johnson broke 100 yards and scored a touchdown. Dolphins 33, Patriots 24.
Up in Orchard Park, Devin, all the Singletaries, had 2 scores as the team of Destiny's Child loves Buffalo so much they want to put a Super Bowl ring on it. Robert Salah my name was crazy in love with Wilson in the first half, but in the end, it was the Bills. 27, Jets 10.
And no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Billies. Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA, such a fine sight to see. Trevor Siemian went out and got the win, 'cause Taysom had an injury. Come on, Jameis, come back and save us. And Arthur Smith's beard is the greatest.
Saints go marching 30-19. Okay, if you're looking for a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep, I have just the one. Resolve to help protect your identity and personal info with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock alerts you to potential threats to your identity. You could miss certain ID threats by just monitoring your credit. LifeLock sees more, like notifying you if it finds your info for sale on the dark web. That is scary. Just the word is very, very scary. And if you become a victim of ID theft, a U.S.-based restoration specialist knows the steps to take to help resolve your case. After all, more than 75% of identity theft victims who had accounts open in their name did not find out from their bank or credit card company. So no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com/PMT. That's lifelock.com/PMT to save 25% off. It's a scary world out there, but LifeLock has you protected even when you're not looking for it. lifelock.com/PMT. Make sure that you protect your identity online, your loved ones, everything. Go right now, call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com/PMT. That's lifelock.com/PMT to save 25% off. All right. Week 18 in the books. We just watched the end of the Chargers-Raiders game in overtime when it felt like all of America was rooting for a tie, and also half of America thought the NFL was rigged, like it was a WWE script from the late 90s. But we got justice. The Raiders win. They get into the playoffs. That was fucking incredible.
No, Big Cat, you can't script an ending like this. Chris Collinsworth told me he would have walked out of the movie.
Yeah.
If you had tried to pawn off an ending to the NFL season, Hollywood would have thrown you in front of a train that was loaded with dynamite if you thought of a script like this.
That was a perfect ending, though, because we had rigged. We had hashtag rigged trending. We had everyone coming up with wild conspiracy theories. And I think it was like the last day of QAnon when JFK Jr. didn't show up, and they're all like, well, what do we do now?
What do you mean the last? QAnon?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
QAnon's still going strong.
QAnon's going strong.
QAnon's going strong.
QAnon is not.
Just wait. JFK Jr. is coming back.
But that was, like you're all just standing there like, wait. So we were just complaining about this game being rigged for the last 3 hours, and then the Raiders ended up winning, and the Steelers are in the playoffs.
It's basically impossible to rig a game for a tie in the NFL without it being blatantly obvious. The closest that we came to was on that final drive by the Raiders when, if they hadn't have gotten that first down, it probably would have ended in a tie. But you can't. It's the old Herm Edwards thing. You play to win the game. I was getting into a debate with Jake about whether or not it was smart to play for a tie or not. He was saying you play to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But I think you play to win the game. You got to win. You got to win a game before you win a Super Bowl.
On a level for the Raiders, it was smart to go for the win. Once they're in that spot at the end of the game, they know that, like, obviously, if some crazy thing happens, they could lose the game, right? But if they're sitting there and they're like, should we kick a field goal or should we kneel and let the Chargers in? Well, if you let the Chargers in, you have to go play the Chiefs.
Right.
Where now you get to go play the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are better than the Raiders, but they have a lot better of a chance against the Bengals than they have against the Chiefs, who has had their number and kicked their ass this year. So, what a game. There's nothing like the NFL. Week 18 did not disappoint. It was insane from start to finish. I would like to actually quote our good friend Magic Johnson, who said, The NFC and AFC playoffs are going to be so exciting because anybody can win. I can't wait until next weekend.
Just a fact. He speaks for all of us.
He really does.
I can't say it better myself. I am very excited for NFL playoff football.
Anyone can win.
You know what? A big fuck you to those dorks over at the New York Times.
Yeah.
Who they were all doom and gloom, being like 18 weeks sucks in the NFL. No one's excited about these games. Guess what? I'm just gonna say that was the best week 18 in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
It came right down to the last game of the last week. Congratulations, Roger Goodell. You've done it again, you magnificent bastard.
Incredible.
I think, did Derek Carr grow an entire beard during that game?
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of hair, facial hair, regular hair. He's got it all. He's like a chia pet.
I think he was face-balled at the start of this game. I think Derek Carr just took that next step in front of our very eyes.
Incredible. And then, it feels like 10 games ago, but Brandon Staley living and dying by going for it on fourth down. This game changed basically. The Raiders were up 3, and Brandon Staley went for it on 4th and 1 on his own 20. The Raiders then reeled off like whatever it was, 13 straight points. Felt like they were going to run away with it. We had the Chargers, every single drive they had, the last fourth quarter and overtime was just nothing on first down, nothing on second down, maybe something on third down, but most likely you have to get a wild 4th and 10 conversion or penalty. And they went for that game-tying drive at the end of the fourth quarter, which was, I think it was like 19 plays and 60 yards. Mm-hmm. It made no sense. Everything was incomplete or just an insane, like, how is this game still going on play. Crazy.
Did Brandon Staley being a crazy motherfucker all season on fourth down actually end up preparing the Chargers for that last and final drive?
Yeah,
because they're used to it. They're used to fourth downs. But I think in the first half, on that fourth down play call that he had from his own 19-yard line, I think Brandon Staley.
That was the second half, but yeah,
I think he might have killed math.
Yeah.
Wait, that was in the second half?
Yeah, that was in the second half, correct?
No, that was in the first half.
I thought that was when it was. Maybe
it was first half as well.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
He killed math.
Oh, he was doing it early. Okay.
He absolutely destroyed math. No one should ever use math anywhere on a football field again. The only thing that Brandon Staley accomplished when he did that was, I think, he made the Raiders think, like, this guy's crazy.
He was crazy.
This guy's actually insane. He's liable to do anything, except then most of those play calls at the end of the game on the fourth downs were just like, run your receivers as far down the field as you can.
Yes.
And throw the ball to them. I've never seen an NFL game where the broadcasters are talking nonstop about how tired wide receivers are.
Yeah, that was in the second half, by the way. It was the third quarter. He's that crazy.
That's insane.
It was 17-14. They went for it on 4th and 1 at their own 18 with 8:57 left in the third quarter. That's how crazy he is. Guy's fucking crazy. And then, like I said, they went directly. They were up 17-14, or they were down 17-14, and then they blinked, and it was 29-14, and they had to crawl back in the last 4 minutes of the game. But yeah, he's a madman. He's a madman.
And I'm glad that it ended this way, because for a second we thought that we were going to get gifted one last game for Big Ben, and you can't take that away from us.
No.
I would have been apoplectic.
It would have been so cruel for Steelers fans to have everything break their way all day, and we'll get into all the games, like the Jaguars losing and getting embarrassed by the Colts losing, getting embarrassed by a bad Jaguars team. Everything breaking their way. They win in overtime against the Ravens, then have that be a tie would have been brutal. Billy, as our number one, you were rooting for a tie, so much so I got a little creeped out, like that maybe you were related to a tie. Did you have money on the tie? Because you were geeking out over the tie.
It was just, I was rooting for something that was so unique and probably would never, ever happen again in the history of football. The Jets winning a Super Bowl might happen. The Browns winning a Super Bowl might happen.
A tie
like that happening again probably would never happen.
I got to the point where, like, the day happened and I was like, Big Ben's going to be in the playoffs. This is going to be awesome. So to have that, like, ripped away from us would have sucked.
You can't take away the joy that we felt when we saw Big Ben at the end of that game. Mike Tomlin can't take away him dancing on an Instagram live post to celebrate the Steelers getting into the postseason. It would have been the most disappointing ending for Big Ben's career imaginable. He would probably have to come back next year.
I think we actually got something even better, though, Billy. Like, we got so close to a tie there. It was we got to visualize the tie, and then we had the fairness of the game actually ending with a winner.
If Brandon Staley didn't take that one timeout, he wouldn't have broken the trust, and they would have tied.
Oh, you think that was the prisoner's
dilemma?
Dilemma.
Exactly.
That was Staley signaling that he wasn't willing to go through with it at the end.
He was trying to win. So then they both tried to win, and the Raiders won.
Mm-hmm.
That was also I made like it felt like everyone in the world who watches football had realized like it was a fact they learned that if the Chargers and the Raiders tied tonight, that they would both go into the playoff. And then they basically walked around and tried to tell everyone that maybe doesn't watch football, like the prisoner's dilemma and how this could work out. It was like that fun fact that everyone was talking about all day until we all knew it. Well, everyone knew it.
I think a lot of people were like the dog chasing the car.
Right.
Where it was cool to like pursue the tie. But if you had actually gotten the tie, I think everybody would have been like, what have I done?
Right.
You wouldn't have enjoyed it.
And we would have lost
it.
Big Ben. I think that we're also in a unique spot because we want to see Big Ben in the playoffs one last time because it's funny.
Maybe get another Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like a fun idea. So I think maybe it would have changed everything if it was like a different team and it wasn't the circumstances of Big Ben retiring. We probably would have been more pro-tie. But we really were. We had that moment today where like, we get one more Big Ben.
Yeah, it's great. It's an awesome thing to look forward to all week long. This is breaking news from Derek Carr. He said in his post-game interview that the fact that Brandon Staley took that timeout changed the Raiders' mindset.
There you go, Billy.
So Billy's right.
Billy's right.
As first reported by Billy.
Trust.
They seriously?
Derek Carr said that changed their mindset. Yep.
Wow.
Broke the trust.
So we almost had the tie.
We almost had the tie.
It was the prisoner's dilemma. Brandon Staley called the worst timeout in the history of sports.
I still think they were going to kick a field goal no matter what because they had like there was no real lose in it. I guess you could have a block and
I don't think that they would have kicked it unless they had gotten that first down because that would have been too far of a field goal and they wouldn't have gotten that first down if Brandon Staley didn't call the timeout.
Yeah, if they had because he would have made them punt it possibly. I guess it was smart. It was a smart timeout for Brandon Staley.
Traditionally, yeah, if you're trying to win the game.
No, if you're trying to tie the game, it was smart.
But he sent the wrong signal to them.
Right, but no, he was smart because if they didn't get the first down, it would have been what you're saying. I'm using what you're saying.
The field goal would have been too far.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Would have been a tie. So it was actually his last play that he could have done.
Okay.
Right?
I'm just saying that they tried to get another first down after the timeout, whereas the Raiders could have just run like a soft play up the middle.
Right.
And he gets tackled. You can take the clock basically down to 0.
You don't know if they're going to do that or not, but his timeout basically said if we stop them here, they're going to have to punt and we're going to tie.
Yeah.
Like he was basically saying this is the only way that I can envision us fully holding our own destiny here.
They were
getting a stop.
They were speaking two different languages when it came to signaling their willingness to tie with each other.
But it was rigged.
It was NFL rigged.
NFL rigged.
I honestly wonder if the two sidelines ever had any discussion or communication about a mutual
I bet
tie.
you they in the middle of the field they like Basikia and Brandon Staley like had a chuckle about it before the game. Wouldn't that be crazy?
I think it was like Brandon Staley went out there and he was like, hey, they're saying that if we just, you going to do the kneel thing today? Ha ha ha. Then slapped each other on the back and walked away.
And maybe stared an extra second into the other guy's eyes, being like, where's he at?
Mm-hmm.
Mentally.
I feel whoever went out for the overtime coin toss, I feel like that would have been
Chase
the perfect.
Daniel.
Yeah, Chase Daniels. Why didn't they broker a deal? I feel like that would have been the perfect time.
Negotiation.
In front of America.
With live microphones.
Yeah. I mean, people, man, if they had rigged it, it would have been a total disaster.
I'm totally in favor of saying that the NFL is rigged all the time for any reason, especially when it goes against what I want to happen to my team or my bet.
Yeah.
But it would have been the dumbest rigged job of all time if it had gotten the Steelers out of the playoffs.
And now the Chargers, America's darling, media's darling, is out with a incredible quarterback, a coach everyone likes who we like, and a team that should be a roster that should be a playoff team. They fall in the last seconds of overtime in Week 18, and we get the Raiders. The Raiders, Rich Bisiccia should get the job. He should get the job. Like the fact that they're in the playoffs is insane when you just stack it all up. You could make everything they've had go against them.
You could make a case for like 33% of the coaches in the NFL to be the coach of the year this year.
Yeah.
You could make a case for Bisiccia.
Absolutely.
Foxhole guy.
Yes.
I still don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, no, people get mad about that. Maybe Jake can help us out. But John Gruden gets fired. Henry Ruggs, 6-9. They end up 10-10 Or no, sorry, 6-7. They end up 10-7. They win every single game, the last 4 games. I think all the games they won were by 2 points or 3 points down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Like they beat the Browns that game. I know they beat the Colts by a field goal. So everything was a razor thin margin, and they did it. What do you got?
Bisaccia.
Okay. I like Bisaccia.
Yeah,
At this point, just ride out with it.
I'm going to stick with Bisaccia.
Yeah, it's kind of what we do.
Another little fun hot mic moment. I don't know who Eckler's talking to, but he's talking to a Raiders player on the field after the game, and you can read his lips, and he says, "Were you going to kneel it?" And the Raiders guy says, "Yeah."
Wow.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, okay, so it was a miscommunication because I actually understand what Brandon Staley was doing because it was too far.
He was fucking up is what he was doing.
Right, but because it was too far, he was basically saying if we can get this one stop on third down, it will be a punt.
Oops.
Do you think he was making it too blatant? And then Bisaccia sees that, and he's like, fuck that, we're going to win the game.
I don't know.
Because it's a major, what would Madden do in this situation? Madden
Win the game.
He would win the game. What would Gruden do?
Save someone's life.
Be an
No, Madden
anti-football
wouldn't win the
pussy
game.
move.
He didn't want to in the 2001 Super Bowl. He said the Pats should just kneel it and go to overtime.
Right, but once they're in overtime, you got to win the game.
I guess.
But then he also said Tom Brady gave him goosebumps.
Yeah.
Hank, are you retroactively mad at John Gruden for disrespecting
John
Tom
Madden.
I'm
Sorry.
not. That's. I mean,
COVID brain.
did that not happen?
Yeah, but it's
Like
no,
I
you're
love
right.
John Madden.
You're
I
right.
respect the shit
You're
out of
right.
him. You just said John Madden would go for it, and I was just
No, you're
giving
right.
you an example of a
You're
situation
absolutely
where
right.
you said you shouldn't go for it. That's
You're
not hate.
absolutely right. Yeah.
Sometimes you like to spin things I say.
No, it just sounds like
As
you're
hate.
mad. You're still mad at John
I'm not mad. I
Madden
don't fucking remember. That was
for
8 years old.
disrespecting Tom Brady.
I don't know. I'm
you're
just
mad.
giving you an example of the opposite of what you said.
Yeah, no, you're right. He did want to kneel and play for overtime in that situation. Crazy though. Everything's crazy. So we have it set. It is so. Here's the schedule. If you went to sleep early and you haven't checked the schedule, on Saturday afternoon we're going to have the Raiders versus the Bengals, which is perfect because the Texans having that Saturday afternoon spot was always, even though it's different because it's not the 1 o'clock Saturday, was always a placeholder for the Bengals.
Yeah, it was either the Bengals or
Or
the
the
Texans, or
Texans, yeah.
sometimes a combination of the two.
So back to their rightful owners. Then on Saturday night, Hank, Patriots going to Buffalo. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. I've never been more ready for anything in my life.
Hank
Okay.
wants this.
Okay. You do want this.
I do want it. It's one of those things. Why wait? The Bills are the better team. They're favored. All that shit. They're at home. But this is what you want. Why run? Why not just face it head on?
What's the spread?
You
We
gotta
talked
go-
about
you
it
gotta
before
go
the
up against
game.
Big Brother.
You guys should guess.
I think it's 5.
Is it out yet?
It is.
It is. All right. I'll say 4. 3.5, 4.
Well, you guys are right, split in between. It's plus 4.5 right now.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
And the weather's going to be bad. It's going to be cold. Breaking news, it's going to be cold in Buffalo, New York, the second week of January.
Whoa. Then Sunday we have Eagles at Bucks, 49ers at Cowboys.
That's the Nickelodeon game.
Yep.
So we gotta start circling our potential MVPs in this situation here.
I think it's got to be Kittle. We got to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Kittle would be
We
nice.
have to keep it in the. I think that's the only answer. It's Kittle. It's Kittle no matter what.
Well, Dak
It
Prescott's
has
a
to
current
be.
guest as well.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't.
true.
They don't have to be the winning team.
No,
yeah.
Dak Prescott,
or the losing team. Yeah.
One of our great friends on Part of My Take.
I think this is a don't overthink it. Kittle.
It
Kittle. Congratulations to Greg Kittle. If there is a fan vote, he has won MVP.
All right, Greg.
Way to go.
Although,
Winning or losing, you have won it.
What if the Cowboys lose and we give it to Mike McCarthy so that he can get slimed?
I don't think they do the coaches, but if they do, yes, we should do that.
He'd probably
But
chug the
I don't
slime.
think coaches are eligible for the MVP. And then we have Sunday night, the Steelers, Big Ben's last ride, going into the Chiefs. You might remember that game from the Mike Tomlin sad field goal. I think it was like 35-10 or something.
Yeah,
it was never even that close.
The worst field goal.
Yeah, and
Do you think that there's like 2% of Big Ben who's really regretting having to play another week? You already asked him to play a 17-game slate this year. Now you're making him extend his last season.
I do honestly think he might have gone to sleep, not realizing that a tie could have fucked everything up.
No,
and then he would have woken up and been like, "Wait, what do you mean I'm not in the playoffs?"
I hope they just don't explain to him what happened, because
Yeah.
that's just going to confuse him when he finds out that he almost didn't make the playoffs.
Yes. So, yeah, there's probably a little. He might have booked a trip. He might have
For
booked
sure.
a trip. All right, and then Cardinals Rams Monday Night Football. So, Let me just read it back to you real quick. The NFC and AFC playoffs are going to be so exciting because anybody can win. I can't wait until next weekend.
You said it, man.
That's it. I mean, that's
cosign.
It couldn't be more. Everything's in front of us. It's no better feeling. All right.
I wish there was a way to retweet somebody in real life. Because I would just go around
just saying it.
Yeah, verbally retweeting Magic Johnson all the time. He speaks for me.
Yeah, did you hear about the AFC and NFC playoffs?
It's going to be exciting.
Can't wait for next weekend. Like just walking around and saying
anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I might have to turn that tweet into a song, actually. I feel like that's next up.
Okay, so should we hop into the games? Oh, and Billy and PFT are driving to the Super Bowl, L.A. They are second place and last place in the competition. So they'll be driving in a Chevy Silverado. New one?
All new Chevy Silverado.
No electric one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now,
No. Maybe not.
So it's going to be an all-new Chevy Silverado.
It's whatever Dana Beers drove back from Coach Prime in Mississippi.
So it's going to smell like Dana?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. I was excited.
No convertible? That's a shame.
I was excited to come in second in this. I went 1-7 in my last 2 weeks somehow. But then I'll be honest, it took me about 5 minutes.
Nope, you can't do this.
No, listen.
You're not allowed to do this.
Listen,
now.
I'm going to tell you a little story about a conversation that I had about 5 minutes after it was determined that Billy and I would be making the trip. Billy immediately started suggesting what sort of time frame we should spend on the road. And the first thing he said was, all right, so I think I've got it figured out. We should leave on the evening of that Thursday, I think. And he said we should drive until 6 o'clock in the morning and then sleep until 1 p.m. and then continue our drive. And I immediately realized that this is not going to be the bed of roses that I had envisioned for myself.
That's
no
just
backsies.
That's just for the front end. The East Coast has more traffic. So we travel at night when there's the least amount of traffic.
Right.
Then we'll
when
hopefully
it's dark on the road.
hit the Midwest by the morning.
The car's lights.
Right. Exactly.
Great lights,
I'll
actually.
drive
Sure.
it. You can sleep.
And it's
I'll drive that
also
first part.
maybe the safest truck on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
What are we listening to, Billy? What's on the playlist?
Oh, I got a great road trip classic rock playlist. Life's Highway, all sorts of stuff.
There we go.
Joe Rogan.
From Cars 1.
Cars 1 has a killer soundtrack.
It does, actually.
It's actually
I know
like
that.
a GOAT soundtrack.
So
does
happy that we found something to bond over here.
The Trolls soundtrack is pretty good, too.
So you guys will be going to L.A. It'll be great content.
Or Dallas.
Or Dallas. Or
if
Vegas.
I think if it's Dallas, you guys have to go L.A. to Dallas.
that would be awesome. I'd agree. Everyone else agree?
So we fly to
Majority?
LA?
No, you have to drive to LA and then drive to Dallas.
I saw a
So we
recommendation.
can't do the road to
from
the 405 and not
from an
have to
AWL.
go
That's a
to-
great point. Great point, Hank.
We got to touch the 405?
Yeah, great point, Hank.
I'll accept that.
I saw a recommendation from an AWL. No GPS. You have to use physical maps.
I mean, they'll never get there.
I'm actually pretty good with maps. You forget, the map is what got me into this mess to begin with. I saw a map online, and it got me excited about this road trip.
So you guys are in.
So down.
Yeah, no, we know. You guys are very down.
Doesn't matter if you
made
were
very clear.
up.
Very down.
We're trying to figure out the big decision is do we hit Chicago and then go Nebraska,
Well, the good news is you got a month to figure it out.
Iowa, Nebraska, or do we go St. Louis, Missouri, Oklahoma? So
Those are the only two options?
yeah, well, we take
Which
high
one
road
has
or
the
low.
Memphis Bass Pro Shop
You know
pyramid
what?
on the way?
Why don't we just
Neither.
every show
We're
we'll just
stopping by the
check in
pyramid.
on where the route is because we have a month until you guys have to leave.
I'm going to put Billy in charge
So
of
we'll
the
just
route.
check in and be like, hey, where are we at with the route? That
We'll be
good?
working on it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay, should we hop into the games? Should we do the games?
Let's do it.
All right. Jaguars Colts was the start of the madness. The Jaguars upset the Colts 26-11. Trevor Lawrence looked like a real quarterback for once. And the Colts, Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. My pinky is safe. I know that people wanted them to make the playoffs for my pinky. I am happy because I was actually very nervous about the Colts. But yeah, that is an all-time how the fuck do you lose that game? You literally went to play a 2-win team that had fired their coach a month and a half ago, had just lost by like 50, and the entire crowd were people dressed as clowns.
Yeah, I've got the data in front of me right now. That's the first time that a team that was hoping to go to the playoffs has gone on the road and lost in a clown-out environment.
Yes.
The clown-outs were previous. No one had ever won a clown game before.
It was so sad. I saw this one picture of this couple. They had a picture. They had a big poster, and they're like 10 years season ticket holders. Clown faced, went to the game. Clown faced, 10-year season ticket holders. Record 43 and 120. At what point are you just like, this is just punishment?
Well, also at what point, being Jaguars fans, getting dressed up as clowns, going to the game, does that become a cell phone?
A cell phone.
That's kind of you're in a major cell phone situation.
Yep.
When
Pro Max 13.
Those could mean a lot of different things, wearing clown makeup to a game, but usually you're just saying like, I am a clown for attending this game.
Right.
And you would be forgiven for thinking that, being a Jaguars fan over all these years, besides obviously the Blake Bortles years. But yeah, that's you also got to keep wearing clown outfits, I think, if you're Jags fans, right?
Yeah.
You're undefeated as the Clowns.
Yes, you are the Clown. Change the team name to the Clowns. I don't know what Colts fans like. This is one of those very, very difficult to wake up on Monday morning moments, because as recently as week 15, the Colts, there was legitimate buzz that the Colts were playing the best football in the NFL. I saw like Dan Orlovsky did a whole victory lap on ESPN because he called that they were going to be a playoff team.
He also would like run away and get married to Carson Wentz.
That's true. No, Matt Stafford first.
Matt Stafford, then Carson Wentz.
But it was, everyone was taking their victory lap. The Colts were in the playoffs. The Colts were a really good team. I was very nervous. They had just beaten the Patriots. They had just beaten the Cardinals. They had won a shitload of games in a row. And then they lose to the Raiders at home, and they lose to the Jaguars. And now you wake up. Again, this is very mean to Colts fans. I'm sorry, but you know this is the truth. You wake up on Monday morning. Carson Wentz is your quarterback. He's got $15 million dead cap next year. You gave up a first-round pick for him, and your team didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think that if you're a Colts fan, you're not consuming any media today. You're going on. You might as well be an Amish person for this week, because you don't want to turn on a television, you don't want to open up a newspaper, you don't want to listen to a podcast.
Nope.
So if you are one of those perverted Colts fans that is listening to this on Monday morning, what's wrong?
Sorry.
I give you permission to delete this episode of this podcast and to stop listening. You should not be
download it again though.
Yeah, download it again, but you don't need to be subjecting yourself to this.
I think you're embracing the suck, embracing the pain. Yes, Hank.
There's also like an insane amount of football buzz and excitement going on in downtown Indianapolis today.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So like if you have to go to work in Indianapolis, you're trying to avoid football, and it's like everyone's just jazzed up, fired up, football, and you're like, I don't even want to look at a football.
Yes, someone's going to win a national title like in your backyard, and it's going to be the pinnacle of their year, and you lost to the Jaguars. And again,
with the HBO crew documenting,
yeah, that's the thing, is like,
or whatever, crew, Amazon Prime, whatever.
Yeah, and the fact that you have Carson Wentz. So Frank Reich was asked afterwards about Carson Wentz, and he responded. He was like, is your quarterback going into next year? Like, talk about Carson Wentz. He said he did a lot, and then he also said, I think he's our quarterback.
Yeah, no.
So that, yikes, and that's a first rounder.
Yeah,
I think he's our quarterback.
Carson Wentz has had a stat line in every single game that he's been in, I think this year, where he's been at some point in the game 5 for 12.
It's so painful, too, because Colts fans, I know that you deluded yourself to thinking that he had changed. There were times when I did the same thing and was like, ooh, Carson Wentz, he's
made a few sick throws this year.
They were always, remember the game against the Titans when he did the smartest play in the world and he gave up that shovel pass interception, pick 6, instead of taking a safety? There were a lot of people being like, that was the first time he was Carson Wentz all year. Like, he's actually not turned the ball over. And then when he had to play his best football, the Raiders game, he stunk. And this game, he stunk.
Carson Wentz is still the king of making bad plays worse.
Yep.
And he'll always be that guy. You know what? I'm going to add the Colts to the list of teams that I think if Kirk Cousins was on, they could win a Super Bowl.
Maybe.
I think that a team like the Browns or the Colts, having Kirk Cousins, that's your ideal quarterback right now.
Yeah.
A guy who he won't make bad plays worse. He'll just make bad plays kind of average, and then he'll also make good plays pretty average.
Yeah, he'll make great plays a check down.
Yeah.
Right. So, Colts fans, whew. I'm just happy I have my pinky. I'm happy I have my pinky. You did have that moment where you were rooting for the Colts to win so that we got one pinky game in the playoff.
Well, yeah.
And I was
not
like, that's
just
very mean.
Hank,
but okay.
Hank and I were both doing that, but just in the name of content. It would have been good to have you sweat it out a little bit.
I do agree that watching someone be miserable in a bet scenario is good content.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Exactly.
Glad we're on the same page.
Glad we're all on the same page.
We all agree.
Yes, we all agree. Yeah, but I'm happy they're not in. I'm happy they're not in. Listen, I did think they had a chance. Like, as of week 15, I was like, I had the conversation with Mrs. Cat, and I was like, listen, just so you know, the Colts are playing really good. And she's like, you made this bet again?
You don't need your pinky. You don't need the tip of your pinky. If anything, that's just a signal to everybody, like, this guy really doesn't do coke.
No, it was a bad conversation, though, because we were just walking with our two kids, and she was like, why are you still making these bets? I was like, because they're fun, and it's like thrilling that the Colts are playing better, even though I wrote them off. And so there was a lot of disdain. And she also pointed out, like, you can't, I stupidly was like, well, yeah, I'll just walk into a hospital and they'll cut it off. Like, that's not how it works. They won't just dismember you.
You'd have to intentionally get the tip of it, like, infected.
Yeah.
And get like a little bit of gangrene at the end of your pinky so that they have to do a medical procedure to cut it off.
But I just wanted on the record.
Take it to a moil and get circumcised.
I wanted on the record. I had that actual conversation. If people think that I'm not, like, I wouldn't take it seriously, I would. It would suck. But I was having those real life conversations of, like, oh, yeah, the Colts might make the playoffs, and they're pretty damn good, and I got to cut my pinky off.
It just would have been good to have one playoff game, just so the dream stays alive for another week.
Yeah, I mean, we had it with the Texans. We haven't had it since. I'm shocked. I thought the Jags would give them a game. I did not think the Colts would lose this game the way they did. Mm-hmm. I really didn't. It was crazy.
This was the ultimate the NFL makes no sense game.
Yeah.
When you look at what's happened to both teams in the last even 3 weeks.
Yes.
How did the Jags win this game? The only thing is, like, Trevor Lawrence, he looked really good in that first half. I think he started off 11 for 11.
Yeah. No, he looked really good.
He took a shit on Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah. Yes. He looked really, really good. So, big time Trevor Lawrence. Positive momentum going into next year.
I think we're now diehard believers in Trevor Lawrence based on the first half of this one game.
Okay, guys, I got the new drink for you. Owens Craft Mixers. They give anybody the ability to make a high-quality cocktail right at home. It's perfect for anyone like us who doesn't have a clue how to make cocktails from scratch. I count myself in that category. You literally just mix Owens with whatever liquor you like to drink, and you're good to go. They have a variety of flavors, including margarita, ginger beer, cranberry, and the 4-plate transfusion, which is delicious. That actually is straight from Riggs's brain, so you know it's incredible. Owens is at the majority of stadiums and arenas across the country, so if you're going to go to a game this weekend, football, hockey, basketball, you name it, get yourself an Owens cocktail. You can look awesome when you host people and you have Owens on deck because you got all types of different cocktails that you can whip up, make yourself look like you're a great bartender. It's very, very easy. Go to owensmixers.com and check the store locator to find a store that has Owens near you. Again, go to owensmixers.com. Check the store locator to find a store that has an Owens near you. We love Owens Mixers. You should love Owens Mixers. I don't know if they ever aired our Owens Mixers ad because the Arizona Bowl got canceled, but look out for it because we did a great ad. It's out there. Okay, so go check it out and go check out Owens Mixers. owensmixers.com. Do it right now. Steelers, Ravens, we kind of touched on it. Big Ben, he gets one more shot at it. Maybe they're a team of destiny. Maybe they'll get blown out by 30 to the Chiefs and he'll cry on the sideline again. But either way, Big Ben, Sunday Night Football, his true send-off, I'm excited.
So I've seen this debate a couple places. I think it's probably the dumbest use of the term, like, no one wants to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
No one said that.
I think
who, Dave Damashek?
I think the Steelers are the team that you want, if you were to circle a team that you would really want to see.
Without a doubt.
I really want to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
Can be run on. Can't run the ball.
Their quarterback doesn't have legs.
It's like they're the opposite of everything Julian Edelman has told us a tough team is.
Yes, their quarterback, his face got so fat that he can't physically remove his helmet.
Yes.
I think you really want to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
No, the Chiefs are pumped.
But it is kind of Team of Destiny vibes. And I can talk myself into the Steelers winning this game. I can do it. You want to hear me talk myself into doing it?
TJ Watt, 7 sacks.
TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Best player in the NFL right now.
TJ Watt, and then maybe Chase Claypool goes off.
Fitzpatrick can get an interception.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. Those two names go together.
Ray McLeod.
Fitzpatrick and interception.
Ray McLeod is due because he's never scored a touchdown
Statistically, he is.
Is it time that we say that TJ Watt is now officially the best Watt brother?
He is Defensive Player of the Year easily. I think he'd have to win. JJ did win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. Or was it 3 in a row? Might have been 3.
I don't know. But he never got 22 sacks.
He never got 22 sacks, but he did have a stretch there where... Remember that stretch where he was like...
He was unstoppable.
This is not human.
12, 14, and 15 for defensive
2 in a row, 3 out of 4. He had a dynasty.
Yeah, he did. And the thing also with JJ was he was probably like a top 10 tight end.
Right.
Whenever he wanted to get in the game and catch a touchdown pass.
But yeah, no, TJ Watt has been insane this year. He's Defensive Player of the Year, 22.5 sacks, ties Michael Strahan. I loved that some people were saying, well, there's an extra game. He played... Realistically speaking, he played like 14 games this year. So he played less games than Michael Strahan and also didn't have Brett Favre fall down for the game-tying sack. That was the record-tying sack.
That was the biggest asterisk move of all time. Brett Favre talking to Michael Strahan before the play.
Rigged.
Saying, I'm going to roll out this way and fall down and get you the sack.
NFL rigged.
And that was, you know what? Watching Michael Strahan celebrate that sack, a little bit of me dies every time I see that celebration.
I agree.
If you think it's bad when you watch cornerbacks celebrate an incomplete pass that missed by 15 yards, nothing compared to what Strahan did after getting gifted that final sack.
Agreed.
I think TJ Watt right now is, you know what, I was going to say something nice about, we've said a lot of nice things about TJ Watt. I just might become one of the Aaron Donald guys. Be like, actually, Aaron Donald, based on his win rate, should get the Defensive Player of the Year every year.
He wrecks all the games.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the craziest part, too, is TJ Watt got paid all that money and then had his best year ever, which is that's a cool thing in sports because obviously a lot of times guys get a lot of money. You're usually paying for past production, not future production. But in this case, he got that big paycheck.
Well, it's because he got that
back in the room.
He got that workout in right after he signed the deal. That one workout probably made all the difference to get him this sack record.
Propelled him. Big Ben also in this game, he took over second place alone for game-winning drives. So 57th game-winning drive. Wow. He passed Peyton and Breeze. Tom Brady's still number 1.
He had 2 game-winning drives in this game, though. We should count two separate drives. He had two drives with the game really on the line.
Yep.
And he was able to pull it off. This looked like it also might tie at the end.
It was fun, though, because he was throwing a couple balls that were like, there'd be ducks, but then he'd reach back and he'd laser one for like 5 yards.
He tried to run the hurry-up offense at one point.
Yep.
And then his whole team looked at him like, Ben, don't do this, Ben.
Please.
We need all your energy.
Yeah, so Steelers are in. Ravens, we've talked about it, but like they went from 8-3 to 8-9. They went from a team that looked like was going to be contending in the AFC to falling apart, missing the playoffs. Injuries just, like, I think you could honestly, if you're a Ravens fan, be like, that was just the year from hell. There's nothing we can do about it.
I think I want to go ahead and say I might have gotten a little bit too excited about Tyler Huntley.
But I'm going to back you up as a friend and say I also did, and that's just how we react.
He did
fans.
Look good for like a week and a half.
He looked great.
He looked really good.
In losses. Mm-hmm. That was I think that might have been the key, is that we kept on being like, this guy is awesome. It's like, well, they lost to the Packers. They lost but he was awesome.
He was the ultimate case of like seeing a flash out of a player, and he's still probably going to be a really good backup wherever he ends up.
Yep.
But you see how good he plays, and then you're like, how come everyone missed on this guy? Then you go back and you read the scouting reports coming out of college, and you start reading the like 2 guys that got their scouting report correct on him.
Yeah.
And you're like, yep, see these 2 guys I've never heard of that just put like PFF in their Twitter handle, even though they don't work for any company.
Right.
These guys, they saw something. I knew there was something about this guy.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's move on. We're going to start buzzing through a few of these games. Titans, Texans. Titans get the 1 seed. Crazy season. The fact that they had the most resounding loss in week 1 when they got absolutely killed by the Cardinals. They lost to the Jets. They lost to these same Texans. They had lost Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. I gave you the stat last week. They broke the record for most players played on a roster in a season. They also didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher or 1,000-yard receiver, and they have the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Mike Vrabel, Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year.
I actually do think that he's probably going to end up winning Coach of the Year. Unless he's a bad guy and Hub has something to hold against him. But I think
he checks out. He's okay.
Vrabel, good guy. Great coach, even better human being.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
I realized watching this game that Danny Amendola is still in the league.
Yes.
He had a little breakout game.
Dola
got 2 touchdowns, I think, and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, because Davis Mills is the future.
He is. And I think David Culley's coming back next year.
Good. He deserves it.
He outperformed expectations, which is maybe saying how low the bar was for David Culley coming into this year.
Yeah.
And you know what? He learned over the course of the season. You remember at the start of the year, he was the punt god? That's all he would do. He would find new ways to punt. And I think he kind of he showed improvement over the course of the season. And really, what else are you going to do if you're the Texans? This is if you're the Texans, you're in year 1.5 of probably a 4-year tank job.
And it's actually kind of awesome, though, that you might have found your quarterback, because that was Deshaun Watson now becomes a realistic, hey, we could trade him and get a ton of picks and really restart the rebuild. So Davis Mills, the last 4 games of the season, he was 2-2, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 68%, 927 yards. Not bad. He looked better and progressed as the season went along, and the fact that he came out early from Stanford, it's crazy to think, but if he had stayed at Stanford, he probably would have been a top 5 pick. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Just tell yourself that. I know that's not how it works, but just tell yourself he's a top 5 pick, and that's your franchise.
Yeah, so we should also say something nice about Taylor Lewan, because remember after that first week when he gave up 5 sacks, he put out...
in one game?
Yeah, I think it was one game.
Fuck.
Yeah, and he put out that statement. He basically took out a full-page ad being like, hey, I'm sorry I sucked. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to improve, but I deserve everybody telling me how much I blow. He should be entitled to take out a full-page ad in whatever newspaper that he wants and just say, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, because they were able to run the ball without Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry might be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's wild that they're the 1 seed, and it's wild they don't have to play the Chiefs until potentially the AFC Championship game. So I don't know what the best matchup for them would be, but fuck it, they got to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, and they're the only team with the bye becomes so much more significant now.
I want to do a deeper dive into seeing what the makeup of most of these coaching staffs that are still in right now look like, but I'm pretty sure that Vrabel's defensive coaching staff, if he includes himself, are the most aggressive human beings.
Yes,
because he's got Jim Haslett.
Yep,
and he's got Jim Schwartz coaching defense.
Just wants to fight people.
He just wants to kick everyone's ass.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has the largest coaching staff. I'm talking about mass wise.
I think there's something to be said to just being listen, at the end of the day, if it ever gets down to hey, you want to take a step outside, we got this.
Yeah, we'll step outside.
That's the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of another coach, so that was Titans, Texans. Again, we're going to whip through some of these because some of them just don't matter. Lions, Packers didn't matter, except for the fact that I do think the Packers are now officially limping into the playoffs after losing to the Lions. And shout out Farmingdale's own Tom Kennedy, who we met. He threw the 75-yard touchdown pass. He's a wide receiver for the Lions. He threw a 75-yard touchdown pass on a trick play, and we know him because we met him at Stu Finer's house, and we watched Frank the Tank, a topless Frank the Tank standing in Stu Finer's pool, make fun of Tom Kennedy and the Lions so much so that Tom Kennedy left the party.
He eviscerated the Lions.
Yeah.
And so
we don't know he left because of Frank the Tank.
I mean,
I will say that.
Exactly.
Frank,
I don't want him to
Frank
you want to sound like
him
you sounded like he had a pissy fit and then ran away.
No, he didn't have a pissy fit.
There was no pissy fit because he just got mentally demolished by Frank the Tank. So he sits down at the pool next to us, and Stu's like, oh, this guy's in training camp for the Lions right now. And Frank goes, the cowardly Lions, are they even a real NFL team? All they do is lose on Thanksgiving.
He emptied the clip. And I don't think Tom Kennedy left because it was a pissy fit. I think Tom Kennedy left because he was like, I don't think this guy has any limit to the amount of jokes he has written about the Lions. And I mean, Frank could go on for a day.
He was
just roasting the Lions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, I don't want to be subjected to this.
I think it's safe to say that these Lions are the best 3-13-1 team of all time.
Fact. I mean, they were fighting till the bitter end. Also, Jordan Love sucks. That's awesome.
Yep.
He does. He sucks.
Well, I mean, was this loss on Jordan Love or was it on Aaron Rodgers? Because Rodgers played, you know what? This might be Aaron Rodgers' last regular season game as a Packer.
Yeah.
No one's talking about that.
Also, it might have been selfish of him to be in the game because he could have gotten hurt.
Yeah, why were they playing their starters?
I think Aaron Rodgers just wanted to get more stats.
He just wanted to be on TV again?
Yeah. So selfish reasons, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
He probably wanted to get his per diem meal.
Yep.
Some bullshit like that you got to play.
I do think that the Packers have a serious issue, though, and that's Crosby and Bojorquez.
No.
His holder.
No, they're fine.
They need to duct tape themselves to each other. They need to walk around holding each other's hands. They need to stay in the other person's house. They need to be by each other's side because I think they just don't like each other.
They're totally fine. It's gonna be fine. It won't bite them in the ass.
I would be very worried if I was a Packers fan.
Last thing from this game, Amon-Ra St. Brown, our last update, because we've been updating every week. His last 6 games, he had 51 catches, 560 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's a full season in his last 6 games. Mm-hmm. He's a fucking stud.
Dan Campbell said earlier this week, they're in the Arctic Ocean now, but they're heading for the Caribbean.
Beautiful.
So if I'm tracking his progress, I think the Lions are somewhere off the coast of Newfoundland.
Yeah.
They're making their way south.
They're getting there.
It's still
slowly.
Still very cold.
Also, I saw Jared Goff say to Devontae Adams after go win the whole thing. So noted.
Okay.
Noted. Put that in my tickler file.
So
noted.
So if the Packers win the whole thing, it's because of their pump up speech from Jared Goff, who is playing as well as almost any quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, he maybe gets a vote. Maybe Habarkish votes for him for MVP. He did. He was the last person to beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Right. He did that in the regular season.
And the Lions finished the year, most importantly, credit to Hank Lockwood for texting this to our group thread, 11-6 against the spread.
Wow. Spread gods. That's incredible. And an outright win. Hungry Dog Parlay.
I think that these Lions are probably the best awful team that I've ever seen.
I was surprised you guys didn't give me a couple minutes to acceptance speech for being the best gambler on the show when you were talking about it. But if I did have an acceptance speech,
PFT was trying to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I did a really good job.
No, I mean, no. If I did have an acceptance speech, I would dedicate to the Lions.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So thank you, Lions.
Thank you, Lions.
Much of the reason why I was the number 1 gambler on this podcast is because of you and
Congrats,
nothing else.
And Dan Campbell.
I like the truthers that are suggesting that I threw it at the end just to make Hank happy, like we did with that Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I mean, you were very clear with what you were doing.
I was very blatant with my reasons.
In the reverse, as the worst gambler on the podcast, I'd like to dedicate my losing season to the Jets.
No, I don't usually give the last.
Yeah, we don't usually give that a speech.
Wait,
if you're an award show, you're not just throwing out.
Billy, did you end up going 500 on the year?
No. I was close.
Very close.
But that's not 500.
If the Chargers covered, it would have been 36-36-1, but he's 35-37.
I mean, that's pretty impressive for Billy when we all treat him like a sack of shit when he was predicting, okay, I'm trying to win this game and lose this game. If it had actually worked out where he was exactly 500 on the year, that would be nice.
But there were some weeks where he was trying to win them all. He switched his strategy midway through. Yeah. Okay, so that's Lions Packers. We'll see the Packers in the playoffs in the divisional round. Next up, we got Washington football team Giants. I just want to have a special shout out to Joe Judge. I don't think I've ever seen someone be told that they're going to get to keep their job and done everything in their power to try to have them reverse that decision. I looked it up. Joe Judge was told that he was going to keep his job on December 26th. Little late Christmas gift. After that moment, he lost a combined 85-20 in the 3 games. He had a game where he had -6 passing yards. He had a story where he said that ex-players were calling him and saying how bad they wish they were still playing for him, even though they were making more money. And then he had 2 plays today where he did a QB sneak from the 3-yard line and the 4-yard line on 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 9 because he was too scared about the Bears getting a safety against him last week. That's what he said in the game afterwards, in the postgame.
Well, he called 2 quarterback sneaks back-to-back because you might see the first one coming, but you usually wouldn't see the second one coming.
No, but he literally said that it was because of last week.
And I think it got 1 yard each time.
Yeah.
They definitely saw it coming both times. Now, you conveniently left out the fact that I didn't see any players from the Giants on the sidelines holding golf clubs, getting ready to go on vacation, Big Cat.
True.
They ran those quarterback sneaks with a high level of commitment and violence on the offensive line. They played their hearts out
But could you
on those 2 quarterback sneaks.
Could you imagine, I think you're not hearing what I'm saying about the post-game press conference. He said that we gave up a safety last week and we were scared we were going to give up another one. Mm-hmm. How crazy is that?
No, he's insane.
That's crazy.
There's no good explanation for running a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9 from like your own 2-yard line.
Because one time we gave up a safety.
You're crazy. You're a crazy person for doing that. And this is, again, I'm going to go back to the clown comment earlier this week. He said, we're not a clown franchise. Yeah. We don't have our players fighting each other. If you're denying that you're a clown, chances are about 100% that you're a clown.
You are a clown.
You never want to be in a position where you're like, hey, just for the record, I know you might think I'm a clown, but I'm actually not.
Yes. And he also kind of did like an aha because he said, we were trying not to get a safety and we stopped him the next time after we punted it. So like, eggs on your guys' face. That was actually a tactical advantage for us.
We gained 11 yards of field position.
Incredible. I just want to shout out Joe Judge. He literally went from Joe Judge, you're coming back, and everyone's like, no, why is he coming back? To saying, fuck it, let me see if I can lose this job for real.
There's a possibility though that Gettleman has convinced the Maras that he's going to lie to Joe Judge and say that he's coming back, but then fire him. I still think he might be fired.
Joe Judge?
Yeah.
I mean, they should.
I think that there's a chance
no
that they will.
excuse to keeping him.
There really is not a reason to do it. I can't think of a more depressing place to be on planet Earth than 1 p.m. at the Meadowlands. It was like 35 degrees outside to watch the Washington football team play against the New York Giants. There's no good excuse unless you work at the game or have a blood relative on the field. There's no reason to put yourself through that.
Tickets were going for $7.
That's way too expensive.
Yeah, it was a brutal one. So Joe Judge, shout out you, man, because here it is. Here's the replay. 2nd and 11, right up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
QB sneak.
The crazy thing is, they saw the second QB sneak coming.
Yes.
The defense lined up to stop a quarterback sneak.
Yes.
It's
crazy.
It's insanity. Shout out to the Washington football team. 7 wins, 2 years in a row.
Boom.
That's a dynasty right there. That's
huge.
Something about consistency. First, you gotta learn how not to lose 7 games in the NFL before you can win more than 7.
They didn't go backwards.
We did well. One more loss.
Yeah, but no, we don't have to talk about the fact there's an extra game.
We got the same amount of
7
wins.
wins.
Same amount of
7 wins. Okay, Browns Bengals. This game happened.
Yep.
Okay.
Sucked.
Yeah, Browns, good job. You got 8 wins. Bears Vikings. This game also happened. I just had 2 quotes. Mike Zimmer. It was the coaches getting fired bowl. Mike Zimmer afterwards was asked about his job, and he responded to the reporter, "I haven't heard about yours either."
Yeah, so that's a yes. I'm fired. I know that I'm fired. Did anybody ask him about Kellen Mond though?
Jake?
No comment.
Okay. Just want to.
By the way, I was in Michigan this week, and I had like 10 people come up to me and be like, "Wow, Jake, you screwed up this week."
I love it. And then Matt Nagy. It's weird whenever you get to the end of a coach that you've hated so much, because there's a little part of you that's like, "Oh, I feel kind of bad," but I don't, and you're almost like, we just been waiting for the moment that I won't even really react on Monday because he's fired. He's been fired for a while.
You guys have been in a loveless marriage, and you've been waiting for your kids to go off to college, and now it finally happened. And I think it's just going to be best for all parties involved if you keep it friendly.
Right. It's like I've cried all my tears.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have any emotion left. He did say to his team, "Let this stuff refine you, not define you." I kind of like that. That's Matt Nagy with quirky, cool sayings. Right to the bitter end.
You know what, though? I think Matt Nagy, I think he gets most of his motivational quotes from just like random shit posters that he sees at Target. They seem like something that you would get with your first apartment when you like the Live, Laugh, Love collection by Matt Nagy.
He gets them from the calendar, the peel every day.
I don't think he even
peels one off.
It's not the calendar, it's just like shit that's on a wall in the most unoriginal person's house. He You got to find inspiration somewhere, I guess.
Well, that's being himself. He's being you.
He needs to be him.
Yeah.
Not be you.
Right.
Or maybe his you is just not good enough.
Yeah, no, it's not. So
be someone else.
See you, Matt Nagy. There was at one point he was a good coach, and then the double doink broke his brain.
You know what? I mean, he was a good coach with Mitch Trubisky.
He won NFL Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy had something going.
Remember that, because that will be a great trivia question. 2018, who won NFL Coach of the Year? Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
That will stump you.
I was looking at Kirk's stats this year because Cousins is, he's the stat god. He was one of the top 5 quarterbacks in most things that you would keep track of besides wins and losses.
Things you'd collect.
Things that you would look at and be like, oh, those numbers look big.
Right.
Kirk Cousins is, without a doubt, like a top 10, maybe top 5 guy in some of those categories. I think I figured out his problem, though, because they lost a lot of games where he played well, statistically played well. I think he's just too good. And I think that he scores too fast sometimes and then puts his defense in a position to lose. Kirk needs to get a little bit worse at playing if he wants to be truly good.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, you could make the argument that the season that he had this year is statistically better than the season that Brett Favre had when he was lights out in Minnesota.
Got it.
So it's got to be somebody else's fault but Kirk's.
He's got to be a little bit worse.
He's got to be a little bit worse so you don't put your defense in a position to be much worse.
Yeah. Mike Zimmer's gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
I don't think he wants... He'll probably fire himself if they don't do it.
Yeah, it feels like that. I think they caught him taking a picture with the defensive coordinator on the sideline, and someone was like, "Why would you do that?" He's like, "Oh, we'd never taken a picture together." It's like, what?
I mean, does Zimmer strike you as a guy that does it for the gram?
It's like going through like your grandmother's heirlooms and stuff. Like, what are you doing? Oh, no. She's just moving to an apartment where they have a nurse 24/7.
Right.
It's not a big deal.
He's definitely aged a lot while he's been in Minnesota.
Yeah.
How long he's been there? 5 years, 6 years?
Way longer than that, I feel like. It feels like longer.
He is
I would have guessed
he aged
8.
He aged worse than presidents do.
Yeah.
Started in 2014.
So 7
years. 7
8.
years.
This is his 8th. I don't know how you count it. The years are always tough when you do the seasons and this
playoffs. Yeah. Do you consider this the 2022 playoffs?
Like, shout out baseball. The one thing they got right is they just do the whole fucking thing.
The end of his
year.
8th season.
Okay.
All right.
His 8th. So he's completed 8 years.
Yes.
They
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
There we go.
They should rearrange the entire calendar around football. So, like, the new year should start in September.
Yeah,
September 1st.
Or the new year should be Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The next day. I liked how you kind of patronized me a little bit there.
No, I was doing it for myself, too.
No, I know. You got your swag back. I like it.
Also,
you needed your swag back. It's good that it came into Mike Zimmer fact. Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. You saw him. He kind of was like,
no, I was
you
doing it for
fucking
myself.
Idiot. You don't know how to count years?
Never.
No, I like it. I liked it.
Okay.
I want you
Fair.
to get your swag back.
All right. The Bears' social media also tweeted 20 minutes ago, 10 minutes till kickoff. I guess they scheduled for 12:50 a.m. and not p.m.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I've been there.
They're getting ratioed right now.
Shit, that's awesome.
Before we get to this next game, want to talk to you guys about our great friends at Coors Light. Do you ever feel like you're always on? What do you do when you need a moment to chill? I'll tell you what I did on Saturday when I was looking for a moment to chill. I had an ice-cold Coors Light. The mountains were so blue, maybe the bluest that I've seen all season. It was a great Saturday because I was drinking ice-cold Coors Light. The best beer, the only beer that's made to chill. It's Rocky Mountain Cold Refreshment. It's the best beer in the world. You guys know that. We drink Coors Light. That's what we do here at Pardon My Take. You should drink Coors Light too. It's delicious. It's the coldest beer on the planet. Based on my studies, there's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill. That's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. They turn blue when the beer is cold. I don't know how they do it. It's magic. It's refreshing. It's delicious. It's an amazing experience. That's mountain cold refreshment that's always made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. It's the only beer that's made to chill. You can get Coors Light, the new look, delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. That's CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
49ers Rams, an actually good game, a great game. We had in this game the Kyle Shanahan's biggest comeback as 49ers head coach and Sean McVay's largest lead blown. as Rams head coach. So it was a wild game, and it all kind of spun out of control for the Rams when Sean McVay jumped into the end zone and celebrated with his team because he thought they were going to kick the shit out of the 49ers. And the 49ers, like, credit to them, they just kept running the ball. I think there was that. What was that drive? They ran like 11 times in a row?
So I think it was like 10 times in a row, and then they didn't even let Jimmy G pass on their next passing down. They let Deebo Samuel.
That was, okay.
Throw it. That's when it turned. So they got outscored 27-7 after Sean McVay celebrating the end zone. Probably should have gotten flagged, if we're being honest, for excessive celebration.
Absolutely. The ref kind of rigged.
Yeah,
NFL rigged.
And then Sean McVay made contact with the official.
NFL rigged.
NFL rigged. They were trying to get, you know what? They want the Rams to play in the Super Bowl because it's in their home stadium.
Yeah.
Which Mr. Kroenke built using his own hard-earned money.
That's a fact.
That he didn't pay taxes.
Yes. Niners, though, like that was, they needed it because the Saints won, so they needed to win to get in. They found a way. Incredible game. I'm very nervous about the Niners because of my Cowboys future. Like, the Niners are going to be a tough out. It's pretty much, if you're playing the Niners, you know you're going to get the shit kicked out of you in terms of they're going to run the ball down your throats, and they play physical on the defensive line. It's just a question of, can you just wait till Jimmy G fucks up?
Or Jimmy G is actually a quarterback he likes to start out really shitty.
Yeah.
And then he likes to almost lose his job, and that's what really motivates him. He's like, he'll go out there and fuck around a little bit, but then when he's about to get benched is when Jimmy G is like, okay, I better figure it out. And he started to play pretty, like, he improved over the course of this game. He was looking like a competent quarterback, whereas in the first half, he looked just fucking awful.
I just can you visualize the Cowboys? Like, close your eyes, visualize the Niners have run the ball for 200 yards. They've just had a drive where they ran the ball. They took an entire quarter. They ran like 17 plays, 15 of them are runs. And Mike McCarthy's drooling a little bit down his face, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
I'm a little fucked up when it comes to envisioning this game because I think with the uniform combination, it's such a classic combo. I can't see one team just getting manhandled.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a good game. Also, I like the Cowboys' defense a lot. I don't think that they can get pushed around like the Rams can.
Yeah, but I feel like the Niners just do it to everyone. I mean, the fact that the Niners were down 17, and obviously they got that field goal before halftime, but it's rare you see a team that's down 17 or down 14 at the time being like, no, we're going to keep running the ball and running the ball and running the ball. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter.
And they can.
Like, they didn't change who they were.
They can do it. I think they can run the ball on anybody with any running back. That part doesn't really matter. They didn't have Trent Williams today either, and they were still able to impose their will. Getting him back is going to be big. We talked about this week 1 or week 2 when we said that we should give an award this year for the X Factor of the year.
Yep.
You remember that when we were talking about Cordarrelle Patterson?
Yep.
I feel like it's a 2-person race, right? It's Cordarrelle himself and then Debo. So maybe we can give 2 awards. One where it's like Debo wins the award for wide receiver,
participation trophy,
wide receiver, running back, and quarterback combo, and Cordarrelle wins it for running back, wide receiver, kick returner.
Deebo Samuel wins the guy I like to watch play football the most award.
He wins the award for guy that can bail you the fuck out.
Yes. I'm just happy too that MVP Greg Kittle is in the playoffs. So happy for him. Also, Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown, which is fucking crazy. Deserves to be noted. He had led the league in receptions with 138, led the league in yards with 1,829, led the league in touchdowns with 15.
So he should be Offensive Player of the Year.
I mean, that's insane. Mm-hmm. To get the Triple Crown, and he was so good, and it just... He's scary, but who's really scary is Matt Stafford, because have fun, Rams fans. You are just constantly being like, he's going to give up the big one. Like, he is...
Would he have 3 interceptions today?
I think he had 2. And he had 40 touchdowns this year, and he had a really, really good year. I think I saw a stat where he's like only the 2nd or 3rd guy who had... Oh, no, he was the 5th guy all time who's had 40 touchdown seasons in multiple seasons. But he will always just give one up.
He's also the definition of he's a guy that's constantly banged up this year.
Yep. But he's just, you know what I mean? Like that feeling of, well, This is like there'll be a moment, and he will make sure that he throws an interception in that moment, that critical moment, and then your season's over.
I'm also concerned about the Rams because they just can't run the ball.
Yeah.
So if we're doing the Julian Edelman thing,
Yep.
special teams probably okay, defense not so much. Sometimes they can be good at defense.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald is a great player.
Yes.
That's what Jalen Ramsey,
Von Miller,
very good player.
Leonard Floyd.
They got you know what? They got
name everyone.
They got a lot of good players, Big Cat, but do they have a great team?
Nope. Probably not. Probably not. And if you pause the game, like 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, you'd be like, the Rams look like the Super Bowl champions.
Mm-hmm. Well,
unfortunately, they play 4 quarters.
The good news for them is they're playing against the Arizona Fraudinals.
Yes, so let's go to them. Although they split the series this year, the Cardinals and the Rams.
Right.
They're matching up again on Monday Night Football. The Cardinals lost to the Seahawks 38-30. Do you want to talk about that game?
Well,
real
I was
quick?
just going to say, like, it's my bad look, big yikes guy of the week goes to Rams fans at home because that was a 49ers home game.
It was.
And I don't know if Cardinals fans travel to L.A.
Cortez will be there.
Cortez will be on the road.
Whose line is it anyway?
Ooh, I'm going to say pick 'em.
I'm going to say Rams. I'm going to go with the same as the Patriots line, -4.
I would say Rams -2, but the actual line is Rams -4.5.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, okay.
I might fuck around and take the Cardinals.
Cardinals +4.5.
Ooh.
Cardinals defense, I mean, they got torched by the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And Kyler just goes from looking incredible 1 second to what's going on here the next.
Yeah, the Cards and the Rams are kind of two sides of the same coin because they've both regressed. So it's like which team has regressed their regression the most?
Well, yeah, which team started highest, and then where did their regression lead them?
Yeah. I feel like the Cardinals they're the regress kings of the NFL.
Well, they regressed the most, but they also started higher than the Rams.
Are you talking about like week 1 or are you talking expectations going into this year?
I'm talking about the week 1, like the first.
From their high.
From their high, the Cardinals were the highest, and they regressed the most, but their regression might leave them a little higher than the Rams. Regression.
Right. The Rams were never super, super high. They won that one game.
They won the Week 3 Super Bowl against the Bucs.
Yeah, against the Bucs. So that was when they were the highest, and I would say that they've regressed quite a bit, but their regression has regressed. They've looked more impressive in some of their losses recently than the Cardinals have in their losses.
Right. Although the Cardinals did beat the Cowboys. But yes, who knows with this game? I think take the points.
I think take the points.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll discuss all the playoff games. Is this the last time we see Russ in a Seahawks jersey? I saw the quote. He says he hopes to be back with the Seahawks.
Depending on what Ciara says.
I just want to remind Russ that you get to decide that. You are the franchise quarterback. It's your decision.
Yeah.
100%. If you want to be back with the Seahawks, so when you say the Seahawks should actually go to him and be like, print out the ESPN bottom line where it says Russell Wilson says he hopes to be back with the Seahawks, and just put it on his desk and be like, okay, great, so you're back.
You're under contract.
You're back.
Yep.
It's great.
So
you hope to be back, so you're back.
I now think that both Pete Carroll and Russ Wilson will come back next year.
Why not?
I think they're gonna run it back.
They can do they can do the mental gymnastics of like Russ was hurt for a month and a half.
You can do that, and you can also say like getting a quarterback as good as Russell Wilson is very tough to do in this league.
Yeah, I would say it's very tough.
Getting a coach like Pete Carroll is tough to do in this league. Why don't we just try to give it another shot? The crazy part is they probably won't make any actual material changes to the rest of their team, but they're just going to be like, all right, Pete Carroll and Russ Wilson coming back next year.
Right.
Good combination. We feel excited about our direction.
Yes. I'm looking at it right now, their season. They went 1-6 in the Russ Wilson injury weeks. And I'm including when he came back and was still injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They went 1-6, and then in the other weeks when he was healthy, they went 6-4. So
didn't we call
that's a decent team?
Didn't we also call this game like right when the Seahawks were, by the eyeball test eliminated? I think we said the Seahawks are going to spoil some team.
Yeah.
In week 7 or week 18.
And they did spoil because the Cardinals went from having a home game to a road game with the Rams losing as well.
Yeah, and good news if you're a Cardinals fan because Cliff Kingsbury was asked are you concerned about the lack of urgency that your team has had recently? He said, well, next week we're in the playoffs, so I think we're going to see a higher degree of urgency.
Beautiful.
So there you go.
And J.J. Watt's back.
J.J. Watt is going to try to come back?
No, he's back.
Officially,
yes.
Per J.J. Watt.
Per Ian Rappaport. Per
Okay.
J.J. Watt. He's back.
I'm sure he'll be at 100%.
He will be back. Bills, Jets, anything?
Josh Allen is really, really good.
Yeah. Feels like the Bills are quietly, like, well, okay.
Getting their groove back a little bit?
Well, just, I was looking at the bracket, and I don't know. Like, they could beat the Chiefs, right?
I'm telling you.
Didn't they beat the Chiefs this year?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
When are they playing the Chiefs?
No, yeah, they beat.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm just
They beat them in Sunday night, right?
Yeah. They could beat anyone.
That's all I said, is they could.
I think that the Bills.
I think they
Week
could.
5, 38-20.
The Bills beat the Chiefs.
Yep. In Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills have quietly put together they put themselves back together to being one of those teams that's contending in the AFC.
You know what? I
For
think
sure.
I
They're in
think
the playoffs.
I think the Bills went from being the team that everyone
in the playoffs is contending.
Is everyone?
Now they're the team that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, right.
We've forgotten about the Bills.
That's my point. Is everyone contending in the AFC?
Yeah, everyone that's still alive
The Steelers
has a
are
chance
contending?
to win Big Ben.
You think the Raiders are contending?
Are they still in the playoffs?
They are.
Then yes.
The Patriots?
Yes.
Do you think it's Soupy?
What are your
I'm
expectations?
thinking Saturday night, beat the Bills. Worry about the
one game
after.
at a time.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Anyone can win.
It is. Good point, Jake.
Thank you,
Good
Jake.
point, Jake.
Thank you. Exactly.
Thank you, Jake. You want to talk about the Bills Dolphins? I mean the Patriots Dolphins?
I got a couple things to say about the Bills though. Has it always been the camera angle all fucked up in Orchard Park?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's too windy.
No, it's like 20 feet lower than any other camera angle.
Yeah, they do have a low camera.
A very low camera angle there. And the other note that I had in this game was how does Josh Allen not have a nickname yet?
Looks good in shorts.
He does look good in shorts. We need a nickname for Josh Allen.
I think his name is fun to just say.
Josh
and
Allen.
And it's quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Josh Allen.
Yeah, I was coming up empty when I was trying to think of nicknames.
I don't think you force.
You can't force it. But
No.
when I saw him make that one throw where he was Matrix style parallel to the ground, just basically willed the ball into the end zone, I was like, that's a magic man right there.
Yeah, but a lot. How many quarterbacks actually have nicknames at this day and age?
Not that many.
Not that many. And
we'll let it come to us.
Yeah, I don't think you can do Magic Man.
The Magic Man.
That was what's his name? Fucking former
Cal Naughton.
Packers quarterback. Right before Favre.
Blake Bortles.
Yeah, Blake is the Magic Man.
Yeah, Blake Bortles is who I was thinking of. The boat. Yeah, that one comes naturally. He's the boat.
Yeah.
But Lamar doesn't.
Don Majikowski?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right before Favre.
How about Super Bowl champion Josh Allen?
The Packers just whatever. Yeah, Super Bowl champion Josh Allen. Although Hank, would you say that you're not allowed at the Super Bowl festivities if the Bills win? Or we're not going to go to Buffalo, but the festivities of being happy for Josh Allen?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you've excluded yourself at this point.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Billy, where do you stand as a Jets super fan?
If we didn't play in the playoffs, it'd be a little bit different. But when you gotta take out. I have nothing again. I'll say it again. Nothing against the Bills. Nothing against Bills fans. But you're in our way, and you're gonna get run over. That's just how it goes. Doesn't matter what team it was.
If Josh wins the Super Bowl and then he comes in and he does his, he probably goes on Fallon and then he comes here, I would expect you to be pouting the entire time.
Nah.
Come on. I think you got to.
In a wild card game.
Can you give us that?
No.
Half a pout?
We'll see.
You're pouting right now.
I'm not.
Just extend this pout.
PFT telling me what my emotions are.
He's not pouting.
Mansplaining my emotions back to me. I'm not pouting. Listen, I'm not going to talk about the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about the divisional round. I'm not going to talk about the championship round. Wild card round. That's all the focus is.
One game at a time.
How excited are you that it's Saturday night?
Very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially because if you lose, people forget about it.
Yep.
That's actually
I'll
a
have
very
time
nice
to sleep
bonus.
on it, get my takes ready.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes.
It's good
You
stuff.
never want to be.
Although we played the Colts on Saturday night, that sucked.
You also didn't you play the Titans on Saturday night when
Yep.
Mike Vrabel figured out how to delete 3 minutes of time from the clock?
Yeah, so maybe not.
Yeah, but you never want to be the last game on Sunday.
No.
And now, obviously, it's different with the Monday Night Football. But the last game on Sunday is usually the leading game in terms of what people are talking about.
For sure. Billy, where do you stand on Zach Wilson and your Jets?
The offseason will bring many truths, and Zach Wilson has gone 5 weeks in a row without throwing an interception.
He
Nice.
also just absolutely loves to drift 30 yards directly backfield and then throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah,
It's
he
called
also
extending the play.
did he have like 90 yards today?
Look, he was balling. He's got no one on
No
the field.
interceptions.
Balling.
No interceptions is no interceptions. Wait, there's one of those weeks, Mike White?
No,
Remember Mike White?
That was legendary.
That was so much fun. That little stretch.
that was weird.
That was a fun Mike White stretch.
It
where
was
we were
weird.
all
Mike White
it.
played good for like a half, then Joe Flacco's name got thrown around a little bit.
7 for 20 for 87 yards. But no interceptions.
He was balling.
He was balling. He was.
He had a all supporting cast.
What happened?
Everyone was hurt.
Got it. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can judge any rookie quarterback. Like, you got to give him year 2. Year 2, if he progresses, that will tell you everything.
Exactly.
Putting Justin Fields in that camp, putting Zach Wilson, putting Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, look what happened to
Mac
Tua
Jones.
this
He
offseason.
didn't throw a pick 6 today, so
Yeah, Tua was on fire. Tua. So let's talk about that game.
I have one thing that'll make you happy.
Yeah.
Talk about last game on Sunday, 2009. That was the Roger strip sack game against the Cardinals.
Oh,
Remember that?
yes.
That was awesome.
That was an
51 to
awesome
45.
game. That was an awesome
And it ended the
game.
weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
2018 was the double doink.
That was Saturday?
No, that was Sunday, last game of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dolphins, Patriots. The Dolphins finish the craziest stat of all time. They go 9-0 against teams with starting quarterbacks with an O in their last name, and 0-8 against teams with a starting quarterback without an O in their last name. It makes no sense. I wish we had gotten this NFL rigged beforehand so we could have bet accordingly.
Their symbolism will be their downfall.
They did it. Expect us. 2-on.
So they also finally beat a good team.
Yes.
So this
well,
was-
they did beat them week 1.
They beat them week 1. What's up with Brian Flores being the only coach that can beat Bill Belichick consistently?
Yeah, they kind of have your number right now.
Just any Dolphins coach.
Yeah, but he in particular, what is he, 4-2?
He did coach there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Season's sweet. Jalen Waddle had the rookie record for receptions. Any other thoughts from this game, Hank?
No, we're on to Buffalo. Regular season's over. The real season begins.
Did that reporter lady ask
No
what his
one-
New Year's resolution was again?
Tell you this much. No one
wanna
is
know.
no one's thinking the Pats are going to win this game based off the game against the Dolphins, which I like to be in that spot.
Right.
It's a shame they lost to the Titans. Obviously, the whole game plan would have changed.
He lost to the Jags. That's
yeah,
the
no,
shame.
the London game. Yeah.
The Dolphins, yet again, are the team that everyone's going to talk about next year, being like, look how they finished the
Right.
season.
Get to some protection.
And I don't know if you...
Look out.
Yeah. I don't really know if you answered a lot of the questions.
Brian Flores,
No,
coach
I mean,
of the year?
at the midway point, the season was a disaster. They had all those picks last year, and
Yeah. Jalen Waddle's awesome.
yeah,
He is awesome.
he's fun.
So he broke Anquan Bolden's record for... I feel like every rookie wide receiver is just breaking every record.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
I guess that's just what the NFL is now.
Yeah. But I always thought that Anquan Bolden record would be... and I guess it did stand for a really long time.
Yeah.
But that was like an incredible season that he had,
Yep.
especially considering how slow he was coming out of the draft. But yeah, Waddle also has the coolest new touchdown celebration.
By far.
More people should be doing the Waddle, and fewer people should be doing the gritty, because you can get injured doing the gritty.
Yeah, Adam Schefter. Shout out Adam Schefter. What all-time move getting injured doing that. Wait, did he not? He did break the record, right? I'm looking right now. It says he's got 99. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I have my facts wrong. Can you look that up for me, Jake? That would be embarrassing. Saints Falcons. Do you think Drew Brees is a little bit happy?
Oh, of course.
I think he's
he's
really
happy. He finally gets to be like, hey, you remember how bad I sucked with my fucked up shoulder and 19 broken ribs? I'm still better.
Yeah.
I'm still better. Turns out Taysom Hill, maybe, and Taysom Hill has been playing better recently, but maybe having a quarterback whose job it is to run into the most violent members of the defense repeatedly during a game isn't really the best possible game plan for his longevity.
Yes, I'd agree. He did. He broke the record, 102 receptions. I looked it up. Last time the Saints missed the playoffs was 2016. They made it 8 out of the last 12 years that Drew Brees was there. He's got to be so pumped.
I mean, the real question is, do the Saints get the 1 seed overall if Jameis Winston doesn't get injured?
Yes.
I think definitely.
Yes.
I think they definitely do.
I hope Jameis gets the job. I really do.
I mean, who else could you possibly bring in to be better than Jameis? They might
draft someone. I don't know.
Yeah, give Jameis another shot at it.
Yes.
Because they were a really good team at the start of the year.
Yeah, and till the end, they were the team. I think if you had to list the teams that didn't make the playoffs that teams wouldn't want to see in the playoffs, the Saints would be at the top of the list.
I kept looking up this year, and somehow the Saints were still in the playoff picture. For the last 6 weeks, I just constantly expected that they would be completely out of the equation for making the playoffs, and they almost did it.
They needed Kyle Shanahan's greatest comeback and Sean McVay's greatest lead blown to make the playoffs, to miss out on the playoffs. So they were that close. And then the Falcons, I mean, they're the best bad team in the world.
They were the dividing line between good and bad.
They were incredible.
The thin blue line of the NFL.
An incredible team in terms of point differential. I'm pretty sure that they finished almost dead last in point differential. And no, wait, I'm sorting it real quick. I just want to look at this. The Falcons finished fifth from last for point differential. They had 7 wins. The teams around them in the point differential won 3 games or 4 games. And they've somehow managed to win 7.
Yeah, because they love getting the shit kicked out of them by great teams.
Yep. All right, last game. Bucks.
I did see that Matt Ryan is going to stick around next year.
Okay.
According to Arthur Smith.
There we go.
He said that was part of the deal when I took this job is I want at least 2 years of Matt Ryan. Yep.
I mean, if they get Calvin Ridley back and they draft well, I don't know. They could maybe go from being the best worst team to the worst best team.
Well, you could make the argument that a team that has that bad of a point differential that still manages to win 7 games, they're probably doing a lot of small things wrong or small things right.
Yeah.
Besides scoring points,
like beating the teams they should beat,
beating every team that you should beat, and then if you just if you decrease your points differential by 50 next year, off that, you're probably winning 10, 11 games.
Yep. Perfect.
It's that simple. Just score 50 more points.
You got it. Last game, Bucks Panthers. Tom Brady is 44 years old, and he had the most passing yards of his career.
Yep.
43 touchdowns, second most touchdowns of his career.
And
it's insane.
And some of the passes he was throwing today are not washed passes.
No.
Just incredible passes.
It's crazy.
It is crazy what he's doing. It's also crazy that the Panthers continue to wear black jerseys because they went 0-7 in their black uniforms this year. Here's a fun stat. They're 3-21 since 2018 wearing their black jerseys.
Wow.
Just stop wearing those.
Someone's got to stop them.
Stop them.
Yes.
Change it, Matt Rule. Everyone gets a smock.
All right. I'm very excited for the playoffs. We'll obviously talk playoffs all week. Yeah. Bob Saget died. That sucked.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
One other.
That really did suck.
One other
moment of silence, real quick. Okay.
One other thought I had about Tom Brady going into this game was just that this game pretty much existed for Tom to try to get all of his players paid off their various incentives.
Yes.
There's no quarterback that knows exactly what has to happen, and he can go out there and still win a game and completely dominate another team while completing the exact correct amount of passes to Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, et cetera, et cetera.
Antonio Brown really fucked up.
Well, I actually do think that there's a chance that he thought that the season was over last week.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, Gronk got his 7. He needed 7, and I think he got his yards.
I think you could tell Tom Brady going into any game, all right, you're allowed to complete 6. You have to complete 6 passes to Mike Evans, 7 to Rob Gronkowski, and you have to attempt over 42 passes today. But you have to hit those other numbers perfectly on the nose. I think that Brady could still probably win a majority of his games by double digits doing those things.
Yes, it'd probably be fun for him.
Yeah.
New challenge. Any other playoff things before we go to Football Guy of the Week and Who's Back of the Week? I'm I'm going to just read it again one last time. Hold on. Week 18 was awesome. Week 18 was awesome.
What do you think about week 19 next year?
Week 19?
Add another game?
You want to fucking do it?
Let's get crazy with it.
We want to fucking do it? All right, here we go. Hold on one last time. The NFC and AFC playoffs are going to be so exciting because anybody can win. I can't wait until next weekend. It's beautiful.
Verbal retweet.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
R.I.P. Bob Saget.
R.I.P.
I feel like I moved on too flippantly from that.
That's
but
okay.
He was a very funny guy.
Yes, I'm very sad about that. He's America's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Tanner.
Him and
Okay.
Trey Wingo.
Let's go to Football Guy of the Week. Okay, let's do some Football Guy of the Week and wrap up the show. Billy, Football Guy of the Week. This is the last Football Guy of the Week. I think that with the playoffs, you'll probably run out of material.
Yeah.
So this will be it. This is the last Football Guy of the Week. Did you see, by the way, Nick Saban's cool guy jacket?
Yes.
I liked it. Did you like it?
No, what's he wearing?
He was wearing like a cool leather jacket getting off the plane. And Nick Saban, he doesn't, it was like an Indiana Jones jacket. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really dress up, but he did give us this quote, which I loved. Hold on, I'll play it for everyone here. Okay.
Well, I think the most important thing is you got to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep,
You got to
fact.
keep the main thing the main thing.
Don't overthink it.
That's
keep
it.
the main thing the main thing.
The most important thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
So I said this privately to you guys, but I feel like I should tell the AWLs this too, just in case I had a premonition. Because I had a dream. I dreamt about the national championship game. And it was a very clear, vivid dream. I never remember my dreams. The final score was 30-21, Alabama. So I'm going to bet that exact same. I'm going to bet that kind of the spread at an alternate line.
Yep.
At 11. I feel good about it. I don't know if I can trust my own brain sometimes, but I feel like when I turn my brain off, that's when I do my best thinking.
You got to also remember you're on Billy's pills.
I am on Billy's pills.
So that could have affected
that's
that.
That's
Your
another fire
sleep.
fest that I've got going on.
Yeah, your sleep could have. Who knows what's happening? Like
my body is
You're literally
fucked
under
up.
the influence at all times.
Billy has destroyed my body. My prostate is just out of control right now. I'm peeing every 20 minutes, and Billy told me that he might have given me cancer from his pills.
Yeah.
I hope not.
That's cool. Fun little wrinkle 1 week in.
Yeah.
What's the worst could happen? Oh, prostate cancer. By far one of the worst cancers.
My job was to raise his testosterone, and an
You've
enlarged
done-
Mission
prostate
accomplished.
Job
is,
done.
is a sign that your testosterone's pretty high right
Yeah.
now.
That I'm pissing more?
No, because your prostate's
Enlarged.
gigantic.
My
Yeah,
prostate,
swole.
my prostate's got gains too. I like it.
Yes.
swole.
Good
Everything's
job.
increasing.
All right, Football Guys of the Week.
Congratulations to last week's penultimate 2021 season football guy of the
Nice.
week, Joe Burrow.
Okay.
He just didn't have his name plate. Football guy, playing for the name on the front. Our first nominee for this week is Robert Quinn, outside linebacker, Chicago Bears. When asked about his courtesy towards the media, Robert Quinn quotes what he says is a familiar saying: "A man's got two things, his word and his nuts, and you don't want to lose either."
Ooh,
That's three things, though. Unless you're Lance Armstrong.
correct.
Number two is John Brown, Equinemius and Amon Ross St. Brown's father,
Yep.
who was just sporting his dope half and half jersey, which was actually sick because
Yeah, it wasn't like a traditional half and
Right.
half where it's just split down the middle. He had like the breastplate was Lions and the sleeves were Packers. So credit to him for doing something new with an old, like we saw. The first one I remember was obviously Brady Quinn's sister, who was dating AJ Hawk. Right? Did I have that right?
Yep.
And she had the half and half Notre Dame, Ohio State. He did something cool with it.
So I think that the way they had it set up was John was wearing one of the jerseys, and then his wife was wearing a different one. So they took two jerseys, and they cut out like the middle part of it.
Oh,
And then they
nice.
swapped, and then they stitched it together.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Wild too. That he was watching both his sons.
He is like an all-time great namer of his children.
Yes.
Equinemius and Amon Ra.
Yes.
our third nominee is Hunter Lupke,
Lupke.
fullback, North Dakota State.
This motherfucker.
Basically, he had a wide open path to the end zone on a run, and instead of just running in the wide open path to get to the end zone and score a touchdown, he decided to avert his route to the end zone to run someone over to get into the end zone.
I love it.
That's the old Nelson Muntz from
I
The
love
Simpsons, making sure to knock everybody over. This motherfucker, Hunter Lupke, I love him, but I hate him. He's the majestic beast. That's what they call him, which is an all-time fullback name. And he single-handedly destroyed JMU in the semifinals after we didn't include him in the Low Man Awards. That was an oversight on our part in retrospect. Like, yes, he should have been on that list. But, yeah, North Dakota State, nobody was beating them.
He also leg dabbed in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leg
okay.
dab.
That's pretty cool. Flexibility.
Our fourth nominee is Jonathan Smith, the head coach at Oregon State. So after the season, he just cartoon-style, dynamite box, like with the lever, blew up his stadium.
Very cool.
Demolished it.
Very cool. They got a new stadium coming in Corvallis.
Was it actually him pushing the lever?
Yes.
Or was it like or was it like a fake one that they told him was going to blow it up?
No, I think it was him.
It was
the whole video.
straight up, like, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that's how they do it anymore.
It was very cool.
And
I think that's one of those things that, like, they can't even, like, technology. It's sometimes nice to know that, like, technology can't even fix, like, the Bugs Bunny TNT box. It's just nice, you know what I mean, to know that still happens.
cartoon.
And don't anyone ruin it for me if that's not how it works.
In our old school football guy of the week is the story of the Patriots general manager Pat Sullivan in 1986. Got hit in the face by Raiders linebacker Matt Millen with his helmet. And, you know, it's a better visual. Check it out on the blog. But this general manager just ran on the field to talk shit and got absolutely pummeled by this Raiders linebacker.
Yeah, Matt Millen continues to be the coolest guy ever.
Yeah. He's just sitting in
keep him away from your front office.
He's sitting in a barn somewhere just chopping wood for no reason in a flannel at all times.
Probably just wrestling a cow.
Yeah, thinking about wide receivers he wants to draft. Okay, good job, Billy. Before we get to who's back of the week, PFT, you got one last ad?
Yeah.
Oh, go vote for it on the blog. Go vote for it on the blog. Blog is posted, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, we have a new sponsor alert here. New sponsor for 2022. There you go. You heard that sound, the unmistakable sound of a brand new sponsor at Part of My Take. It's Grove. It's Grove. It's a new year. That means it's time for a fresh start and a chance to change the way that you care for the planet. Now is the perfect time to make your home healthier, happier, and more sustainable. Discover everything you need for a sustainable home at Grove Collaborative. That's right. They've got sustainable choices for home care, beauty, and more. Start today. Check out Grove Collaborative. They have hundreds of products aimed at replacing single-use plastics across your home and personal care routine. And by 2025, Grove is going to be 100% plastic free. Like Grove has their concentrated cleaners and refillable glass bottles. They're friendlier to the planet and twice as effective as the leading natural brand. So step up your cleaning game, step up your detergent game, make a more sustainable choice. Get Grove concentrated cleaners and refillable glass bottles. Get their products for every room in your home, from laundry care to hand soaps and more. Grove has you covered with safe formulas and refillable packaging that never compromise on performance. Go to grove.com/take today. Get a free gift set worth up to $50 with your first order. There you go, $50 worth of free gifts from your friends over at Grove when you go to grove.com/take. Plus, shipping is fast, and best of all, it's free shipping. Go to grove.com/take. That's grove.com/take.
Okay, let's wrap up. We got who's back of the week. Hank, who's back of the week?
My who's back of the week is Klay Thompson.
Yes. Overshadowed by Sunday Night Football.
He was overshadowed by Sunday Night Football, although they did a pretty heavy ceremony. A lot of people were paying his respects. Some people, there's some sabermetrics that came out about Bitcoin. I'm trying to pull them up real quick.
Okay.
If you could just filibuster for a second.
Yeah, who's
Okay.
a better pure shooter, Klay or Steph? When you throw the word pure in there, you can literally make up anything that you want after
Yeah,
that.
you can. I'm going to still go with Steph. It was crazy because it was Klay's first game in their new arena. That was kind of a fun fact.
Is it really?
Yeah. Because they opened it, I think, last year. He hasn't played
He's
in 2
been out.
years.
Yeah, he's been on a little
Yeah.
Michael Thomas type.
It's crazy. It sucks. I love Klay. I really do. It's crazy. I mean, we talked about Russillo on Friday. Let me know, Hank, whenever you're ready. But we talked about it with Russillo on Friday.
Got it.
The best free agent acquisition is the Warriors getting Klay.
Klay Thompson
They picked
back.
him up off waivers.
Impact.
This was just obviously a lot of people were excited Klay's coming back, one of the best pure shooters back in the game.
Yeah, maybe the best.
You know,
People are
hard
saying-
injury,
people
tough
are
return.
arguments.
People
Yeah.
were just happy for the game. And one former esports contributor of this show brought to the point that if you bought 50 Bitcoin the moment Klay Thompson got hurt in Game 6 of the Finals and sold it this morning at 9:30 a.m. on the day he makes his return, you made a $1.67 million profit.
Damn. That's
So-
crazy how time works.
Yeah, and Bitcoin has gone up. You could just be like, Bitcoin's gone up.
No, it's just fun. It's always a fun thing to do.
Who's the former?
Just shove it in everyone's face like, haha, you could have had all this money.
Who's the former esports contributor?
Oh, we don't say his
is.
name.
Yeah.
To this show?
Well, you ducked him in a fight, so we don't say his name.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Yeah, yes.
I didn't duck shit.
Okay, thank you, Hank. Good job. Good who's back.
Thank you.
Clay Thompson. Back. PFT.
My who's back of the week is Todd Haley.
Yes.
Todd Haley. He's been gone for too long. We finally got him verified on Twitter. That was a major win for some of us out there. But he's coaching in the USFL. They announced their coaches. Big names would be Kevin Sumlin.
Okay.
He's going to coach for Houston. And then Todd Haley. Obviously, he's coaching Tampa Bay. So he's already gone out and made an offer to Antonio Brown to give him a roster spot on the Tampa Bay Bandits.
So when is this?
It's never going to happen, probably.
When are they supposed to be playing?
I think March or April.
I'm booked with March Madness.
The only way that this succeeds is give Trump a team again and then do Hard Knocks on Donald Trump's team.
Yeah, and then it'll be
April
like
16th. Is
April
kickoff.
16th?
So right after March Madness.
Day after tax day. Perfect.
Okay.
Masters.
That's also like right around when NBA and NHL playoffs start.
All I want
I think they have 1 week. I think they have 1 week that I'll pay attention.
Yeah, all I want from this league is to give me a very exciting week one and maybe have one sort of new technology that they debut that gets instantly swallowed up by the NFL next season.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
I
from
also
the
would like
USFL.
that. All right, my who's back of the week is Game of the Years. I'm taking Georgia.
Even though I dreamed,
This is such a mistake.
I dreamed
Billy
a dream.
Pills. I don't believe it.
What about the first game of the year, Big
Billy's
Cat?
putting pills into your brain to give us false flags and lead us astray
and ruin the
bankrupt
podcast.
us. Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta say something, Big Cat. I haven't said this to you off the record, but I've been thinking about it for a while. I was with you on the first game of the year.
Well, no, you weren't. Pitt.
Okay. All right. All I'm gonna say is that after the Georgia game of the year,
yeah.
You've been chasing.
Yeah.
You have been chasing.
I won
These
my
are
game
not
of the year.
real games of the year.
No, they are.
Wait,
no,
you're
I
addicted
love
to calling things game of the year.
I love Georgia.
No, you lost your game of the year. You're 1-1.
No,
and you knew you had to get a game of the year in before the year ended. So you came up with the game of the year, and then now you're coming up with this game of the year because you're addicted to games of the year.
Hold on.
This isn't actually a game of the year.
Okay.
You want to call it a game of the year.
Time out. You're right about.
And I believed you with Georgia, and I won't do it again.
Hold on. Time out. You're right about the Michigan game. That was a total it's the last day of the year. Utah, I loved. All bowl season. It was my mortal lock when we did the Pick'em episode.
Which is different from a game of the year.
Yes, it is. It's on Pick'em. I made a mortal lock of Utah 3 weeks before the Rose Bowl. I then upgraded it to my game of the year. Yeah, it's thrilling to have game of the year.
Wait, is this your second Georgia game of the year?
No, that was last year.
Yes.
This is my second game of the year this year.
Okay, got it.
It's thrilling.
I love how,
Sue me. I love it.
I love how Hank just explained the bit. Big Cat, I'm a little worried because you seem to have more than one game of the years, even though it's supposed to be one game per year.
No,
I believed.
This is my second.
It was real to me, and it no longer is.
Because you missed the first game of the year.
I guess.
And you missed the first game of the year again this year. 2022 is going to be the year of game of the years. I'm just saying it right now.
What year is it in the lunar calendar coming up? Is it the pig this year?
I don't know. 2022 is going to be the year of the game of the years. Georgia -2.5. I've decided. This is breaking news. Game of the year.
I'm rolling with PFT in his dream.
Okay,
there we go.
Great. I'm so excited for my game of the year.
I have a dream,
I have a stat
baby.
for you. I have a stat.
Roll
for you. Ready
Tide.
for this stat.
Nick Saban.
No one believes in
ball
us.
sack lives on Kirby Smart's face.
No one.
Alabama, Georgia will be the 5th time teams have met twice in the same season, with both meetings being AP top 5 matchups. The loser of the first game won the rematch in all 4 previous instances.
It's tough to beat Kirby Smart twice in a year.
I'm just going to bet the
They
over.
always say that.
Okay,
You're
so
in my
just
head.
bet the over.
You're
All
in
right,
my
there
head.
you go. That's fine. I respect that. But let me have my game of the year.
Go for it.
Could you imagine going 2-0 in game of the year?
I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm just worried about your own. I'm just trying to make sure you don't get in too deep, and then
I'm already 1-0 in game of the year.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Cool.
You're stuck in a hole you can't get out of.
And yes, if I lose this game of the year, I will not have game of the year records in my Twitter bio. That's that easy. People will ask for it, and I'll say it's not.
But
there
then you'll have a
anymore.
game of the year on Friday just to go 2-1.
No. Wait, Saturday maybe because it's the playoffs. Saturday, possibly. Undecided.
You also get to do a game of the year in any sport too. You can have your NBA game of the year, your college basketball game, your ACC game of the year.
If I want to do 365 game of the years, I'll fucking do it. Okay.
It's the year of the games.
It's the year of the game of the years. Georgia -2.5, game of the year. I'm so excited. Billy.
Real quick, Chinese New Year, it's going to be the year of the tiger.
Oh, that's the
pretty cool.
tiger just going out and getting the game of the years.
You know what a tiger is? It's a big cat.
Yes, it's my year.
Boom.
It is literally my year.
Wait, it's also tiger as in like Tiger Woods, too.
Right. And what did he win? Game of the years all the time. Masters,
Match
ever heard
of
of
the
it?
year, yeah.
That's a game of the year.
Round of the year.
Boom. Just don't let me get behind a Buick. Okay.
My Who's Back is the Manning Cast curse. It is officially undefeated on the year.
Did Roger Goodell die?
No.
Fuck.
But Aaron Rodgers went on week 17, and the Packers lost to the Lions. So,
yeah.
Week 1,
I
Travis
guess,
Kelce,
Yeah, that's true.
No, it
Russell
works.
Wilson, they all lost the week after they appeared.
Okay.
Are they doing a Manning cast this weekend?
For the Monday night game?
I
doubt
think so. It's set on the year.
They should have had one on Saturday
No
night.
Manning
'cause it was
cast,
Monday
but
Night
doing one of
Football.
those mega casts where it's
Okay.
like every
I was just saying,
ESPN
you'd be a
owned channel is like.
You'd be a psycho to watch the Manning cast during a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like, you got to soak in a playoff game.
Definitely. And who are they getting for the mega cast, though? You got to bring Urban
Oh, sorry,
Meyer back.
no, I was talking about tomorrow's
Jake?
championship.
Yeah.
Jake.
Got it. Yeah.
It's one where Bill Walton's on like peyote and
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. And they just roll everyone out, and it's
I'll have to
whatever.
double check on the playoff.
I actually like watching that one.
Oh, when they get all the coaches in
When
the
it's
room.
like
Yeah,
eight
it's like the
people,
coaches'
yeah,
film
like-
room. That's what they'll have tomorrow. I'm pretty sure.
And half of them are still hoping they get like big time jobs, so they're just not giving away their secrets. Like
Jimbo
anyone's
Fisher in
listening
the
for
film
it.
room.
Oh, there we go.
Let's get Coach O in there, too.
Jimbo knows them both. Okay, Jake, your who's back of the week?
Well, my who's back of the week, kind of on the same topic, is A-Rod.
Yes.
Baseball is doing the same thing with Sunday Night Baseball, and A-Rod and Michael Kay
I can't wait.
will be on the
It's gonna be
ESPN2 cast.
It's going to be so good.
The one
every
thing
week.
I always say about baseball is I wish there was a second broadcast where I could hear people talk more.
Well,
Yeah.
no, listen. The sequel's always better than the original.
Especially when you have a
Right.
personality like Alex Rodriguez,
Right.
who
No, this is good.
I could listen to him read the phone book.
This is going to be really good.
I wonder which guests they'll get on every week.
Just
All
Ben
of
Affleck.
them? All
Just
of
have
them.
him
Watch
Ben
it. Watch it. Watch it. Relax.
talking
Relax.
chicks.
It's a little
Relax.
alternative way to watch Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah,
I've
If you're
been
a
looking
Yankees
for
fan,
one.
I'm sure it'll be great.
it's going to be awesome. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
Good job, Jake.
Thanks.
Bench Mob, who's on this week?
Will Wade.
Oh, nice.
LSU. You
Anyone
guys are an
else?
LSU
Seat stealer.
Big Cat's coming on
Oh,
Thursday.
okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good.
We'll wait on today's episode Thursday. Big Cat to talk Wisconsin.
Are you worried about that?
I'm not worried. I've been transparent the whole time.
Okay.
I was wrong in the beginning of the season.
A lot of hate.
No, Jake, you can't back. You were right at the time.
Fair.
But he could have been a thought leader.
He could have.
And
I could have been.
He
But
could
that's
have
not-
dragged his nuts across
That's
Joe
not
Lenardi's
the point
face.
Yes. I
of
could have.
bracketology. Bracketology, you're a weatherman. You're saying what temperature it is outside right now. Not what you think it's going to be in a week.
Right. I
Yeah,
was
but
wrong.
the preseason one, you can kind of take some shots.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's okay.
Learn a lesson.
Yeah, you could have dunked on Joe Lenardi.
Could have.
You could have. That would have
Next time.
probably been your big break.
It's all right.
Actually, you already had your big break when you came in with those clammy hands and you shook our hands with the suit.
Didn't hurt.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was still power move. Jake coming in with a suit. All right, numbers.
You mean 8?
44.
22. Everything's back in there.
Give me
6
2
to 9.
8s,
22.
as in 88.
Give me an 8, 8,
As
8.
in 88 degrees.
The pool.
The pool.
That's the pool where we hung out with Tom Kennedy.
Danny.
39.
Yeah,
I thought it too. I thought it was 39.
Fifth time.
Love you guys.
Dinosaurs are sick.
Oh.
Billy. Come on, Billy.
Keep that in.
We did the show weird this time.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it was.
All right.